the fabulous Blues Brothers. Rhythm and Blues Review. The Palace Hotel Ballroom, Route 16, Lake Wazzapamani. The fabulous Blues Brothers, show band and review.
I don't take no lip, and this cannon on my hip, let me tell you, boy, ain't no toy. I wear a hat just like a Mountie. I'm a sheriff of Boone County. Let me tell you, boy, you in a heap of trouble, boy. Now if you try to push your caddy from Nashville to Cincinnati, you have to come across the Boone County line. Well, if you ain't all passing through, you better mind your P's and Q's, cause this stretch of interstate, boy, is mine. Well, you might outrun my old Chevrolet, but you can't outrun my old two-way. Leon waiting at the station to hear from me. You're gonna be wishing I believe in that extradition, cause I'll chase you all the way back to Tennessee. I don't take no lip, and this cannon on my hip, let me tell you, boy, ain't no toy. I wear a hat just like a Mountie. I'm a sheriff of Boone County. By the way, you in a heap of trouble, boy. You've been lucky, but now you're in Boone County, Kentucky. I don't know how things are in Tennessee. I'm the roughest you ever saw. Round here I'm the law, and it's been that way since back in '43. Yeah, I don't take no lip, and this cannon on my hip, let me tell you, boy, ain't no toy. I wear a hat just like a Mountie. I'm a sheriff of Boone County. By the way, in a heap of trouble, boy. Yeah, I run the grocery store down there. Yeah, I pump the gas. I'm the dog catcher, too. Yeah, the judge, yeah, that's me. Yeah, I'll post your bond for you if you like. Yeah, if you happen to wreck your car on the way to the courthouse, I got my used car lot down there. You in a heap of trouble, boy. Yeah, guilty or not guilty. Just plead guilty, boy.
My name is Rick Smith, and I worked with Jimmy Hicks for 30 years.
Okay, well, I'm David Wright, and I was employed with DFW DPS for 34 and a half years, starting in '75 and retired in 2008.
Emmett Atherton, and I started in 1980, retired in, 2007.
Hi, this is Gerald Lancaster. I retired in 2009, and I worked at DFW Airport for 31 and a half years.
Hi, my name is Charles Cinquemani. I'm the Chief of Police at Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. And James, obviously you look around the room and you see I'm not here. So the reason is I was already scheduled for a conference before I found out about your retirement party. Kind of disappointing for me that I don't get to join you in this celebration, but I wanted to wish you good luck and say contribute a few words to this party.
Met him in October of 1982.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you'd asked earlier about when I first met him, and one of the things is my favorite memory about him is when I first came to work there. There was a guy named Ben Durham who has since passed on. I had been to the police academy in 1971 with Ben Durham. Ben Durham left Weatherford PD, where he was then, and came out to DFW Airport. So when I left Irving PD, came out to DFW in '82, and Ben Durham was my training officer. But he and I had been to the police academy together 11 or 12 years earlier. And Ben, we all spent a lot of time in the coffee shop in those days. So we go to the coffee shop and we're all talking, and Ben starts talking to me about needing to buy a parking place. And your dad comes in and chimes in and says, "Oh yeah, you gotta have a designated parking place, or you know it gets busy around here. You'll never have a place to park, and you'll have to park somewhere way out there, and you're going to end up being late to work and all that." And him and Ben conspired to sell me a parking place right up in the front. And right before I was going to change hands, somebody walked in and started laughing, and I knew that I'd been had. And boy, Jimmy and Ben, and I think Jerry Cooper was a lieutenant, and I think he was there. Everybody was in on it, because they did it to all the new guys. They tried to sell them a parking place, and I think they'd even pulled that on airline captains and flight attendants and anybody that listened.
I went through fire school with James, and we had a good time in fire school. Crawling through little barrels and playing football, and he pulled his groin muscle by playing football, and he had to suffer through fire school with all that. And had a little house we burnt down on the west side of the airport. Didn't mean to burn it down, just accidentally burned it down.
Police Academy.
And,
Started there in '78, and went to the police academy in '78. Anyway, I went to the police academy and I met a fellow by the name of James Hicks. And somewhere in that mix-up of us riding go-karts in the police academy and having a good time at lunch, we became very close friends. And after we got out of the police academy and we were able to we rode patrol together. And a lot of things I might talk about, most of those things I was in the car with him, but I'm not the one that caused any problems. I'm not that kind of guy. He was a lot bigger than me too, so he could hurt me if I didn't go along with him. But we had a lot of fun in the old days, though. We worked midnights patrol. I remember one year we're working midnights patrol, and we'd been midnights for 6 months, and it was like, oh, it was coming up. We had a week to go, and it was coming up. It's like, we'll be back on day shift. And I believe it was Lieutenant Simpson came to us, and he said, "Guys, I hate to tell you this, but you guys have got to go 6 more months." And we thought, oh my gosh, we almost wanted to go. I was going to go frame houses with Jim. We're going to leave together and leave the airport. It was horrible. We thought we couldn't do it, but we survived. And somewhere in that period when we were in patrol together, I think it was in the early 80s, I never will forget one midnight. We were riding out the gate there, and song came on, Mr. Sandman, and we were happy as we could be, because when we started the airport, we started at $5.08 an hour. And that day we had gotten a raise, and we were at $10.16. In a matter of 3 years, we had doubled our pay. And we were happy as we could be that night. We just went to $10.16 an hour, and we were happy dudes.
I could tell some stories, but I'd rather not. But nevertheless, James, I met him in '84, found out he liked to play golf. We started playing golf, became friends. And as well as working for James and being friends, the best part about everything was being his friend. And I hope that James has a great retirement, and he deserves it. He was great to work for, and we had a lot of good times at the airport as well as off the airport.
So I can't remember exactly when I first met James. Probably that's because in the beginning I was in fire for a couple of years, and I guess James was working in piracy. I don't think we really got together until a few years later, maybe really when we got into motors together. But I do have one funny story that I'll have to admit I didn't personally witness, but it's one of those legends around DFW Airport. And as you know about legends as they get passed along and passed down from generation to generation, they kind of take on a life of their own, and they may not be exactly true, or at least as true as when they happened. But the legend is, as most of you know, Gerald Lancaster and James Hicks were partners for a very long time, and it was always Hicks and Lancaster, or Lancaster and Hicks. And so supposedly, as the story goes, one day Lieutenant Charles Sloan was giving James his performance appraisal. And James was reading his performance appraisal, and he looked down and he saw that he was written up for parking the patrol car in the middle of a fuel spill. Now, back in the old days, patrol officers used to also be firefighters, and they would respond to fuel spills and have to put on firefighting clothing and get out there with a hose and wash down a fuel spill. Luckily, all of that's changed now. They don't do that anymore. But Lieutenant Sloan had written him up for parking the vehicle on top of the fuel spill. And James couldn't remember that, so he asked the lieutenant, well, when was this? What date was it? And the lieutenant looked it up and said, well, it was such a date. And James said, well, wait a second, that wasn't me, because I was on vacation that day. And in Chuck Sloan fashion, for those of you who know Chuck Sloan, Chuck said, well, you would have been with Gerald anyhow if you were here, so he would have parked the vehicle, you would have been in the car, so you're in trouble anyway.
Okay. All right. Back in the, I don't remember what year it was when the Blues Brothers came out. Well, we figured out we could have fun with the PA, and I don't remember if we took turns or who did what, but I remember we used to go work at midnights. You had between the time of trying to stay awake and the early part of the morning, we'd go around the terminals areas and go on the PA, the Blues Brothers show band and review. That was pretty awesome.
It was a fun job, and James was a good guy to work for. He took care of us. We needed taken care of, and there's sometimes we needed taken care of. So, but can't tell about everything. But I always enjoyed working with James, and James was a good boss. So, about all I got. I don't have a whole lot of stories that I want to share, but.
I'll beat off the tight list.
I put it another way. I don't have a whole lot of stories that James would want me to share. So,
Kind of like Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. And then Jim liked to do something back in the old Sertran days. He'd get on the PA and we'd drive up the upper level and we'd see people standing out on the curb looking for the bus, or they'd be standing inside the doorway in the wintertime waiting for the bus. So we'd go down below, drive down the lower level, and he'd go downtown Dallas, Sertran, downtown Dallas, and come upstairs real quick in the car and pull by, and people are standing out in the cold looking for the bus, thinking the bus was there. We used to do, I don't think anybody ever caught us doing that because we'd probably been in big trouble, but it was fun. It was something to do in the wintertime, and especially in cold midnights. But it was a lot of fun in those days.
Okay. So I also have an after-hours story about James. We used to go to 9 Acres. For those of you who don't know where 9 Acres is, go up the top of Precinct Line Road, I guess just a little bit north of the railroad tracks where Hearst, Northridge, and Hills, and what is that, Keller come together? And up there where there's those $500,000 houses, well, that used to be where we went dancing, cowboy dancing, I'll call it. And so we went there quite a bit, and it was the usual crowd of Hicks and Lancaster, and Funderburks were there, and Burkhart was there, and I think Buckmeyer was there once in a while. Probably a whole other assortment of people that are in the room now wondering why I didn't mention their names, but I can't remember hardly what I had for breakfast yesterday, never mind what happened 37 years ago. But one day, James's sister Nancy was also there. And, well, at work, we didn't call James James. For those of you who this is going to become a shock to you, we call James Jimmy or Jamie. And I didn't know about the James part of it until James's sister Nancy heard me calling him Jimmy one time at 9 Acres. And she took me aside and chewed me up one side and down the other and basically told me that his name is James, not Jimmy. And I don't think I've called him Jimmy ever since then.
I remember one year we had a Halloween party, and we were going to a Halloween party, but during the work time, we decided, okay, it was Halloween, what we needed to do is get some masks. So we went to I think it was a Kroger store in Euless, and we bought masks. And Jim had to take his mask and put a hole in it so he could, in the mouth part, so he could smoke, because he smoked. So that was pretty cool, because he had a mask on with a cigarette out and smoking. And we drove around with those masks on in patrol. And that same night, we were riding and we hear a car, one of the cars made a traffic stop. It was Daryl Fulbright. And Daryl, if you remember that, if you were to see this, Daryl had a car stopped, and we get out of the car. Of course, we took our masks off. Well, Daryl's got a man stopped on the service road, and he's wearing a Miss Piggy mask, a full latex Miss Piggy mask. And this guy looks back at us and sees us, and he's like, "Oh man, the real cops are here," because he thought this guy must be crazy. This guy with this Miss Piggy mask on. I don't know how we all three didn't get fired over that deal, but a lot of good times back in those days. A lot of good times.
James and Jack Woodman were just like that. So
Yeah, they hauled two before us together.
yeah, they carried two before us together. So
Well, I say no. We had some golf outings, and there was some beer drinking involved and so forth, but we kind of made a pact that things that happened out there on the golf course stayed on the golf course, and I respect, I'll honor that, because, you know, it wasn't anything criminal, but not anymore. I'm sure the statute of limitations passed.
friend, loyal.
Exactly. Yeah, you couldn't ask for a better person to work for. And I think James, he's a great dad, I'm sure of that. And I tell you, he was a part of my family as far as I'm concerned. And I saw his kids grow up. And Melody, now then that James is retired now, she has another job looking after him. So anyway, good luck to you, Melody.
Yeah, she'll need a lot of luck.
If I were going to just try to describe Jim Hicks in one word, the only word I think of is probably workaholic, because the guy wouldn't call in sick. He'd come in dragging his arm and be hanging down on one side. Or I might be covered up with a patch or something, but he'd come to work. I'd even have to. I remember one year, literally, this is a true story. He comes in, he hurt his arm somehow, and he comes to work that way, and I had to fasten his seatbelt in the patrol car. And it's like, "Jim, you need to go home." "No, I don't. I'm gonna be here." That's what he'd do. He always came in. He's like, he could be bleeding out of the ears and nose, but he'd come on to work. "Hey, you got blood on your shirt." "No, it's all right. I'm okay. I'll change it later." But that's what he'd do. Workaholic.
All right. So, if I had to describe James in one word, I'd say Kodiak, because I'm sure he doesn't do it now because it's no longer allowed. But for years and years around, he'd always walk around with a styrofoam cup or a Coke can or something, spitting that nasty old chewing tobacco or snuff or whatever that dirt was that he had in his mouth into that can or cup. That's perfect. So, words of advice for retirement. First of all, James, you still have time. Change your mind. Don't retire. Come back. Everything is good now, right? But if you do decide to retire, I mean, you play golf, you got a boat, you go fishing, you got grandkids that you can take care of. I mean, it sounds like you're going to be a pretty busy guy. So I just want to wish you the best in your retirement, and enjoy yourselves. And like I tell everybody else, don't be a stranger. Come see us once in a while, but not too often.
Stay healthy.
Yep. Just stay healthy.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself. Enjoy being retired. Enjoy being retired.
You're also going to find out you're going to wonder how you got everything done around your house while you was working, because I'm sure you're going to stay busy, and sometimes even being retired you run out of time. But anyway, enjoy it. A lot of things that used to be important shouldn't be as important anymore.
Right. Just love being retired.
Enjoy your family and grandkids.
Yep. Enjoy your family and grandkids. Enjoy playing golf. Enjoy doing things that you want to do. So, and you'll find retirement is great. And
You find you should have done it a lot way before you did.
Yeah.
Don't take it too seriously. Take a little time to just breathe, because it's going to be a big change. You're used to getting up every day, going to work. You have a routine. You have responsibilities. It gives you a certain sense of importance and purpose and all of that. And the day he retires, that will all go away. And whatever anybody thought he was important before, it's even less now. He's just not very important anymore. and it takes a little while to get used to.
Jim, I've had people ask me about my retirement and how you think about it. You know, what do you miss work? And I said, I've never missed basically the job. I've missed you. I've missed the guys at work. I miss people that I'd see daily. But believe me, when you leave there, and all of a sudden the first morning you don't have to get up to go in, it's really different. It probably take you 3 or 4 months, and you realize, man, this is all right. You go play golf when you want to. Hey, you tell Mel, hey, you know what? I'm gonna be out washing the truck. I'm gonna do this, or I'm on the yard. But not having to worry about setting an alarm to come to work is one of the greatest things about it. And believe me, once you get used to it, you'll wonder, when did I have time to work? I've got so much to do, especially with the grandchildren. You're going to have a ball, believe me. You're really going to enjoy it. And relax. Don't worry about doing anything. You'll feel like I need to do something every day. No, you don't. You'll have something to do. You don't need to go somewhere and punch a time card for somebody or work for somebody else. You'll be working for yourself, or you'll be working for Melody. She'll have plenty for you to do, so don't worry about it. And if you run out of stuff in the garage to do, she'll find something for you. And believe me, with the grandkids, you'll have plenty to do. So don't worry about going back to work anywhere. Just don't do it. Give it up. It's not worth it.
Congratulations, James.
Congratulations, James.
Congratulations, James.
Hey, congratulations, Jim. I'm glad you're finally doing it.
Bad boy, what you gonna do? When the Sheridan Brown comes for you, tell me what you gonna do? Yeah, bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had bad traits, you go to school to learn the golden rule. So why are you acting like a bloody fool? Cause if you get hot, then you must get cool. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? You chuck it on that one, you chuck it on this one, you chuck it on your mother, then you chuck it on your father, you chuck it on your sister, you chuck it